Hi everyone, what's up? Ty here, and today what I want to talk to you about is 10 principles every Kata practitioner needs to know. So check out the video, hope you enjoy it. Now before we get into the 10 principles, what I need to say is these are all based on my opinion. So it's my thoughts on what I think makes the perfect Kata. Your opinion might be different, but you know, if you've got a difference of opinion, drop it in the comments, let us know. I'll be happy to discuss it with you. It's really interesting discussion for me. So let me know what your thoughts are. Principle number 1, be happy with what you've got in pursuit of what you want. I remember when I was learning Kata, I'd look at all the top quality students and think, oh, I just want to be just like them. And when I watch myself back in video format, I used to think, oh, I'm just rubbish. So, you know, what you've got to do is forget about what other people are doing, concentrate only on yourself, be happy with your progression, and any practice is better than no practice at all. So even if you're practicing something but you don't quite get it, it doesn't matter because you've practiced it, and that small bit of practice there will pay dividends in the long run. So be happy with what you've got in pursuit of where you want to be. That's principle number 1. Principle number 2 is foundations. So what do I mean by foundations? What I mean is stances. So our stance is the foundation of our movement. And if our foundation is loose and it's not very solid, then it's going to affect the rest of the kata. Let's go into Zenkutsu Dachi. For example, if I make a Zenkutsu Dachi, but my knees are collapsing in, it's gonna make me unstable and I might end up rocking side to side and losing balance. So we need good foundations, we need good stances. A good idea is to practice your kata doing feet first, forgetting about your hands totally, and just work on the legs. What you'll actually find is that is actually quite a difficult thing to do as well, because we train our bodies to practice a certain way, so we're practicing with our legs and our arms. When you take the arms out of it, it actually becomes a little bit more alien. So give it a go, you'll find it's actually a very, very good drill to challenge not only your body but also your mind. Principle 3 is joint and foot alignment. When you're making your stances, try to align your feet naturally with the line of your knee joint. Joint alignment and foot placement for me is really, really important because it affects the integrity of your stance, and if your stance is not fully formed, then it's going to affect your balance as well. Not only that, is if your stance isn't properly formed, then it could have bad adverse effects for your joints, maybe not now, but in later life. When we're making a stance, for example, Zenkutsu Dachi, you need to try and align your joints appropriately. So from here, you can see this lead leg is not aligning with the front foot, and this is going to put pressure on the outside of my knee. Now I might not feel this now, but in years to come, then this is really going to it's going to give me lots of pain. So make sure we're lining our joints up appropriately. So for example, this knee is lining up with this foot, and same with the back leg. We're not collapsing in, I'm not on the side of my ankle either. The other thing is zoning in your stance as well. And the reason why I want you to zone in your stance is it's going to help create balance and internal tension, which you can then use to step or punch. So what I mean by zoning in your stance is, if my feet are pointing outwards like this, then you can see I'm off balance and my power is being dispersed in this big arc. So I want to try and concentrate all my tension and energy into a narrow point here. So I do that by pointing my feet parallel, and as soon as I do this and squeeze, yeah, I can feel this internal tension build up, and my abs are nice and tight, my glutes are tucked in, they're tight, I'm squeezing these inner and outer thigh muscles here. So now I can drive in a punch and deliver that punch with power and precision and speed. If you're in Zenkutsu Dachi stance, you notice that some people who've got really flexible ankles are able to keep their rear foot pointing forwards, and that's not possible for everyone because of low flexibility. So what we've got to do is compensate on the front foot slightly. So if your rear foot can't point straight and has to turn out at 45 degrees, then try and compensate on the front foot by turning it maybe not 45 degrees, but close enough, okay? So that's principle number 3 is foot and joint alignment. Principle number 4 is to keep it simple, stupid. So when practicing kata, keep it super simple. Have at least 3 things that you want to accomplish by the end of the session. So for me, I usually pick something that I want to accomplish with my stances, something that I want to accomplish with my upper body, and maybe something within the kata itself, maybe a sequence that I'm trying to nail. So if I complete them 3 things by the end of the session, then I'll leave the session a happy person. The other thing is to start slow as well. Don't try and start your kata going really, really fast. Start off slow, build the movement up, get the movement stuck in your head, work on specific techniques. If you go into the kata fast, you're not going to give yourself time and chance to work on them important skills. So start slow, build the speed up as you go along. Principle number 5 is to breathe. A lot of us, when we're practicing kata, me included, and I have to try and get out of this habit a lot of the times, is we hold our breath. And the reason why we hold our breath is because we feel like it's going to give us more power. Well, that might be true, but what it's also going to do is it's also going to tire you out a lot quicker. You try doing kankadai from start to finish without breathing, you're not going to make it to the end of the kata. So it's important to make sure we breathe properly. So how do we do that? Well, what a lot of us tend to do is breathe through our lungs. And the reason why we do that is because it's easy. However, breathing through your lungs means you're going to take in shallower breaths, which means you're going to lose energy a lot quicker. Try and control your breathing from your diaphragm. By doing it through your diaphragm, it allows you to take in more oxygen and also expel more oxygen. It's really, really weird that if you try and breathe through your mouth and use your neck muscles, you feel it in your upper chest. But when you breathe through your diaphragm, you feel this compression here, this squeeze, and it allows you to really sort of maximize the potential of your lung capacity. So when we breathe in, make sure we use our diaphragm, and also make sure you breathe in through your mouth and out through your mouth. You could argue that you should breathe in through your nose but out through your mouth. However, I find that doing it this way is too complicated, especially when you're performing a kata and doing it quickly. I find it a lot easier to take oxygen in through the mouth and out through the mouth as well. Okay, so principle number 5 is to breathe. Principle number 6 is to relax. Now, I know what you're thinking, how do you relax? I constantly have to tell my students to relax, and the thing is, a lot of people don't know how to relax. When you tell someone to relax, well, how do you do it? What you've got to try and do is just release all control of your muscles. And I've got a couple of cool drills to help you with this, but being relaxed is going to allow you to use less energy and also to be quicker, more explosive when you're delivering your techniques. The weird thing is if you try and punch harder, you tense up and your punch actually comes out slower and awkward. But if you relax into your punch, you actually find that you're punching a lot harder and a lot quicker. So try and relax in all your movement. Now, here are a couple of drills you can do to help you relax. The first drill is the limp punch drill. All you're going to do is stand at your hands, at your waist here, and just move your hips, and when you're ready, just throw your punch out in front, relying solely on your hips. The next drill is the limp kata drill. So similar to the limp punch drill, what we're trying to do here is perform a kata without any feeling in our upper body. So the same thing as limp punch, all we're focusing on is that end point of the movement. I'm not worrying about doing correct preparation, and just after speed and controlling the block. So if we take Heian Shodan for example, I'm going to step and just flick my arms into place, keeping them nice and loose here. And over time you can start to just build that up so you're getting more and more correct form. So again, just step and block, and then you can go here. I'm not even making fists, I'm just keeping everything super limp, almost lazy-like. Principle number 7 is transitions. How do you move from A to B effectively? When it comes to transitioning, it's not just a case of stepping from A to B. What we've got to do is use our feet correctly. So if I'm in Zenko Sadachi, first thing I'm doing is I'm trying to load this front leg and put my weight over the heel here. So I'm going to push, and then this leg starts to take over. So I'm using the quads here and I'm pulling up into the middle here. And then the other leg takes over again by driving forward. So I'm going to push my tailbone forward here, keep my body all in one line, push and lock in position. This same process goes for any stance. So whether it's Zenko Sadachi, Koko Sadachi, Kibadachi, it's the same process. Let's take a look at Koko Sadachi. So here, we're going to transition our weight forward. Back leg takes over, and then front leg takes over. So you've got to work your legs in order. If we're going backwards, the same thing applies. We need to load the back leg, so we're putting our weight on the back leg in order to avoid the heel coming up. So you stay low, you put your weight here, then this leg pulls back, I'm squeezing to the middle, and then you drive back into position. Principle 8 is Mushin. So what is Mushin? Mushin is a state of empty mind. When you do a kata, and let's say for example you're in competition, you ideally don't want to be thinking. You want to be not thinking at all and just letting your body do what comes natural. And the way you get to that state is through obviously constant hours on the mat practicing. So you're training your body to know exactly what it needs to do, and you don't even have to think. Principle number 9 is spirit. So by practicing a kata, effectively you're practicing a routine of self-defense movements. So put yourself in the frame of mind of someone who is defending themselves. Practice the movements quickly, with urgency. If you was to have someone stood at the side of you who's going to punch you in the face, would you block slowly or would you block fast with urgency? And that's how I want you to think. So make sure you move with urgency, with precision, with speed, aggression, and with purpose. Finally, principle number 10 is rhythm. So try not to go through a kata in just the same speed and rhythm. Try and mix the rhythm up and sequence your movements. For example, when we do Heian Nidan, we've got our high Wanuki sequence, and this you can sequence together by going 1, 1, 2. And you see how I speed it up, I go 1, 1, 2, like that. So there's a speed change in there, instead of 1, 2, 3. And this allows you to sort of develop your knowledge of the kata and understanding of the kata. When you start to sequence things, you get an idea of what it is you're actually trying to do when it comes to the bunkai. So remember guys, these 10 principles are my opinion, and if you feel different or you'd like to add to it, then put a comment in the comments box. And you can also get my free ebook, The 10 Principles Every Kata Practitioner Needs to Know. The link is down below, and I will go into all these 10 principles in more detail. You can download that for free underneath. Hope you enjoy it guys, and don't forget, give this video a like, drop us a comment and subscribe to this channel if you feel that it's of value to you.